It's raining a lot in the mountains at the moment, so all of the cloud has come in, and if I spin you around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See that? It's just everywhere. Everywhere's like this. All of the mountains is gorillas in the mist style. So I'm going to go out to two locations that I've spotted a composition in. One's just up the road, shooting between two mountains that come up on a V with a mountain peak in the middle of it that I'm going to shoot in a square crop. And then further down the road, because of all the rain and the snow melt, there's a really windy road with mountains coming up either side and a waterfall cascading in the middle of the scene there as well. So I'm going to go down to there when I've done this shot and see if I can get that. It's raining quite a bit and I don't really want to get too soaked, so we'll see what we can get, and I'll get you back on when I've got set up. I've just parked up the top here and I'm just walking down the road to where there's some really windy bends, which I've taken a picture of before, but that's where I need to be to get the vantage point down to this composition here that I've spotted. There's a lot of water coming down the river here because it's raining and all the snow's melting because it's quite warm and coming to the end of the skiing season. So I'm just at the bends now, and then I'll spin you around and you can see all the clouds in the valley. Here we are, we're here now, look. If I jump up here, I'll spin you around, check this business out. Can you see all the cloud wafting up the valley there, and the waterfall coming down this piece here, and you've got this windy road in the foreground. I might do a wide angle and include this road like I did in another shot, which I will show you now. But I've got the long lens on, so I'm going to get this shot zoomed in without the road, maybe the little bit in the bottom, just these bits, the clouds and the waterfall. So I'll get my camera set up and let you know what I'm doing then. So this is my view. Quite amazing, quite an amazing piece of road this is. These bends are absolutely crazy. I've taken a couple of shots. It's raining quite a bit, my camera gear's getting soaked, so I don't want to stand here for too long like this, but I've taken a wide shot where I've got all of this bend here and the valleys in the background with the clouds coming through the valley there, and I've also zoomed right in to this waterfall you can see in the center of the shot there, and the valleys and the cloud in the background, all shot. Let me spin this back around again. All shot at f8, and I've done a landscape like this. I've done a landscape zoomed in down the bottom there, and I've done a portrait zoomed right in where I've just got that waterfall, these clouds up the top here, and this section just here, which I think you can agree is rather a nice scene, even with a road in it. That's not your normal everyday road. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Pretty sure it's going to be black and white, but yeah, here's the image.
C'est une marque chinoise qui a été fondée en 2008 à l'époque, je crois que c'était She Inside, hein, le nom complet, c'était des vendeurs de robes de mariée, et puis en 2015 c'est devenu...
I've just come up to spot number 2 where I've found a little pull-in on the road. There's a composition that I've spotted in this direction over here. At the moment the rain is quite heavy and the whole valley is just full of clouds, so the composition that I spotted, you can't even see it at the minute. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for it to clear. Excuse me. I've got a tummy full of Bœuf Bourguignon, so I'm in no rush to move anywhere. I'm just going to sit here and relax and wait for it to clear up a bit. When it does, and I can see what I want to shoot, I'll get out and walk up to the next bend up there where I've got a clear view of what it is that I want to take an image of. It's basically, in the distance there's 2 mountains that go up in a V, and they're covered in trees which have no leaves on at the moment, so they're quite dark. And then in that V in the middle there's a mountain that's got snow on the top of it, or at least it did have this morning. Whether that's all been washed off by the rain now, I don't know, but it just is framed perfectly. So you've got a V coming down of 2 mountain sides, and then in the middle of that V you've got another V going up of a snow-capped mountain with nasty dark stormy clouds above it. So that's going to make a really good 1x1 crop image, and that'll be black and white definitely. When I get a chance to see it, I'll get you straight back out there with me and show you what I'm talking about. Till then, this is what I want to shoot. In the middle of there, between those 2 mountains, is another big mountain in the background, coming up in a point like this and down again. And when that cloud clears through there, I'll be able to see it and take a shot. And what I'm going to do is zoom right in, so it's literally just a square crop of this middle section here. If the cloud ever clears, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I mean, look at it, it's just amazing anyway. Everywhere you look, there's mountain peaks coming out of the top of the cloud. So there's definitely a shot to be had, but that's the one I want, if it'll just clear up enough to see the mountain behind. I've come back up the mountain to this waterfall here with this snow that I took some shots of the other day. Look at the amount of water that's coming down there now. That is a good shot. I really like that snow there and how it's melted away and left layers, and there's mist coming through there. So I'm going to get the camera out here and line something like this up and take a shot. Once I'm set up and I know what I'm doing, I'll tell you what settings I'm using, what focal length we're at, and what shutter speed, because that water's coming down at quite a rate, so that's still going to be a fairly fast shutter speed, I think. Anyway, I'll get set up and get back to you. Can really film out there. It's the spray coming off of that waterfall, and it's actually raining quite a bit as well, quite heavily. My camera's soaked, my bag and the passenger seat of the car's soaked because I left the window open, but I had a little look around and took a few different shots from different angles, and if any of them are any good, then here are those shots from Cascade de Quercy on the way up to Point de Spain in cauturetes. So amazing little spot, amazing waterfall, and if any good shots came of it, this is them. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the water, but the cloud's not going away for me to take that shot I've been sat in the car waiting for. So what I've done is I've come up the valley up towards Pont de Spain, where there's a bridge over the river here, looking down the valley back towards Cauturetes. You've got these lovely pine trees here, and it's all foggy in the background, so I'm going to take a shot that's somewhere around here. I think it's quite a nice scene, so I'm going to get the camera out, get set up and take a shot. I'm sorry for the lack of videoing and documenting what I'm doing here, but it's absolutely peeing it down, and all my kit's getting soaked. Camera, this little camera here for video me. So I'm not going to take this outside with me, but that river scene that I just showed you there, I've just stuck the 16mm on for a nice wide shot, and I'm just going to take just my camera and tripod, and I'm going to run out there and take a shot quickly. And it's going to be at 16mm, I should think, to try and fit the river and these nice grey granite rocks with brown grasses on at the side into the scene as well. And probably just f8, focusing on the closest thing I can see, because everything behind the immediate scene in front of me is shrouded in fog. So depth of field is not important in this shot really. I just want it to be nice and sharp for the river and the pine trees that are in the foreground. Might be black and white. It's feeling like quite a black and white day today, but there's nice colour on those grasses over there and the pine trees, so we'll see. It's probably going to be about a 13th of a second shot, so the river's going to be quite nice. Judging by the cloud and just how grim it is, I'd say it's going to be a fairly slow shutter speed, something around 1/13 of a second. You'll be able to tell, you know, if you know the difference between the water, although the water is coming down there at quite a rate, so even a faster shutter speed is going to look around that sort of textured water effect, I should think. But I'll go and get it done. So I've just run out there in the rain and taken that shot. I've done it in a landscape excuse me, and in a portrait orientation as well, and I think it's quite a nice shot. So here is that shot. Now I'm coming down this road. I've just come down and stopped on this bridge. There's just back up there, there's a big waterfall cascading down the sorry, cascading down the mountain with fog all above it. So I'm just going to go back round again, and I reckon if I park on the right angle I can take that image out of the car window. So let's go and find out, shall we? Here we are, up the mountain to where the cascade is, and my favourite restaurant you can see there. But if you look at that, I can't zoom in any further than that. See that waterfall there with the pine trees, and up above it is just fog and mountain. The fog coming through these trees here. Look at this. So I've positioned myself in the car where I can just shoot out of the window. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my long lens back on, line this up. I'll flip my stills camera into video and show you what I'm lining up with that, and we'll take it from there and hopefully get a shot out of that. Here's the waterfall. We'll see if I can zoom. There you go. I think that's a shot there in itself. But if I raise it up here somewhere, maybe something like that. Obviously the highlights in the top part, well, it's all cloud now anyway. You can't see the mountain that's up there anymore, so I'll take that like that, and I might take one zoomed in a bit further, because that's actually quite nice, just like that. taken a few shots of that waterfall there, and it's time to head back down the mountain now and go and see if we can see through that V to the original composition that I've been waiting for. So let's get going. It's clearing. Jesus Christ. It's clearing through that gap, and that mountain behind is just starting to become visible. So I'm just going to grab my camera and run over there and set up. As soon as that gap through there's cleared of cloud, and you can just start to see the mountain in the background, it's filled with cloud again straight away. So I'm going to give up for tonight, and I'm going to come back in the morning and see if I can see it then. If so, I'll bring you with me in the morning. It's the next morning now, and it's not raining anymore, so my wife and I are just walking back up this road to where that shot I want to take last night was. See you when I get up there. This is the shot I've got lined up. Square crop. Zoomed in a bit further on that peak in the middle there that's catching the light on the top of it at the moment. And then you've got these two other mountains that come down here that are practically black in shadow. It's all about that peak in the middle of it, right in the middle of the square, which is the main focal point. This is what I'm shooting. This, let me zoom that in. These two black mountains coming down in a V, with another V of snow-capped mountain in the background shining through the middle. That's what I'm going to shoot in a square composition. That's the last shot of the day and this trip. We're getting the aeroplane back from Toulouse tomorrow, so we're going to travel there later on today. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then please like and subscribe, and I'll be back here hopefully in autumn where the colours are amazing. And here's some images that I took last autumn from around here. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified when that video comes on as well. I lied, it wasn't the last shot. I've just walked a bit further up the road and there's more peaks visible. Come on. So this is the last shot.